Welcome to PNB Sports Show. I'm Al Cotton. Today, the football world is reeling. We are talking about a night of pure European chaos in Madrid. The Kings were dethroned at home as Bayern Munich pulled off a technical masterclass to silence the Bernabéu. Across the continent in Lisbon, a homecoming turned into a heartbreak as Arsenal's new talisman delivered a late dagger. We have the abracadabra of sports. Ero joining us virtually all the way from the ancient city of Benin. On the agenda today, Harry Kane's historic 49th goal, the VAR conversation that rocked Sporting CP, and why Real Madrid might finally be at the end of the road. Let's get straight into the analysis. Good morning, Ero.
Good morning, Tom. It's a pleasure to be here.
Your voice, you sound very good. It seems like you just ate maybe pounded yam, or you just ate akpu, as we call it in Benin, Santana.
No. The weather is cool this morning.
Okay. So which means you drank hot tea.
Very.
Okay. So let's get right into the conversation. Last night, the UEFA was on fire. We saw performances that we did not expect. And one performance that we did not expect was the Real Madrid performance at home in Bernabéu. Bayern Munich went home and they defeated them 2-1. It seems like Harry Kane's goal at 45 minutes, 20 seconds. 20 seconds into the second half, it says a lot. And this is one of the fastest second half goals in UCL history. It was his 11th Champions League goal of the season, equaling his career best in a single campaign. What does this say about the man, Harry Kane? Some people are asking, is this the fastest goal of the knockout stage in the UCL season?
Yeah, this is the fastest goal. And then, what does this say about? Yes, Harry Kane is a good thing. We have established that before now. So Harry Kane is phenomenal. Harry Kane is a talisman. Only the talisman. A goal pusher. He's a player that I mentioned some things yesterday. Apart from his good scoring ability, they have a striker presence. So when you have players like Harry Kane on your team, you are rest assured that you have completely covered one aspect of that game. And that's what Harry Kane brings to the team. And he never fails to prove this over and over again. Every day, every time, so that in the big games, in the small games, he's not a player that you can categorize that, he's only very good in against Sporting. And he came up against the big teams, he came up against when you need him, he's very reliable. And kudos to him and his performance, they found the superb one. I didn't expect him to play the game, but seeing him on the starting lineup and going further to prove why he scored Harry Kane, that was, as a matter of fact, he is one of the very few English players that have lived up to the hype that they ever got. Even from his days at Tottenham. So, yeah, Harry Kane is coming up.
Before this match, it was said that we will not have Harry Kane, playing against Real Madrid, especially with the performance of Bayern Munich previously before the quarterfinals, and with the way they beat every team that they met. It seemed like every team that they met were just children in their hands. What will you say about this comeback? Do you think that him coming in and the coach of Bayern Munich saying, you know what, let's play him even after he passed his test, do you think that it was a tactical move so that the opponents do not expect Harry Kane's performance?
Upon seeing Harry Kane on the lineup yesterday, I burst out into a loud laughter. I immediately clocked what his company wanted to do. That was a pure tactical setup. That was in this part of the world, we call it mind games. Vincent Company, the coach, played serious mind games with Real Madrid and Bernabéu. And when you there, many people do not understand how these things work. When you come out to the press and say, you are going to be without your best player, your best striker, and arguably Harry Kane, you give your opponents an opportunity to breathe a sigh of little relief. Okay, we are in their own books, they strike out. The one devil is out of it. Let's look for how to take care of the other devil. And then boom, the lineup is released 1 hour or 30 minutes to the game, and you are seeing the same person that you have struck out of your books is right there starting. and going on to do the damages. That was a serious mind game. I can bet for a fact that Vincent Company and the entire Bayern Munich management team already knew that Harry Kane was fit to play the game, but they went on to say, "Oh, Harry Kane," because if let's say he was induced or he was inducted to play, I don't think he would have played the entirety of the game. I don't think he would have even started. Maybe they would have brought him in the second half or something. But for him to start the game and spend such a long time in the game, it clearly shows that Harry Kane was fit to play. They just it could be that he had even recovered before now. They were just keeping him up for this fixture.
Indeed.
Yeah, so that was a good mind game from Vincent Company.
So it was an amazing tactical plot from Vincent's Company. But talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Harry Kane. This is a player that earlier this season, he became the fastest player from Europe's top 5 league to reach 20 goals contribution in a season, surpassing Lionel Messi's previous record. And he currently has 49 goals across all competitions. 49 goals. Should we be shouting Harry Kane for Ballon d'Or? What do you think?
I think that the only problem we might have with Harry Kane winning the Ballon d'Or, okay, if Bayern Munich goes on to win the Champions League, Harry Kane certainly will be a very strong contender. But I've discovered something lately, that the Ballon d'Or has moved from an award given to players who are willingly deserving of it to it has moved to an award of PRO. I said it one time on this show. And in the way the football world is presently, the players with the best public relations go on to win the Ballon d'Or. Because I can make references. Tell me why Lamine Yamal with 9 goals in the season is in the Ballon d'Or conversation, when there was a Rafinha in that same team that did far better. You understand? There is a Lorato Martinez somewhere that scored incredible number of goals, but because he did not have the hype, he did not have the PRO, the likes of Rodri won the Ballon d'Or. So it goes on and on and on and on like that. So I think that apart from the days of Tottenham, Harry Kane has only shattered those scoring records. It just was sad that Tottenham were a team that was not winning trophies. That's why many of us did not see it the way we are seeing it now. It is because now he's in a bigger platform. When I mean bigger platform, a bigger club, obviously, Bayern Munich, a team that is known for winning trophies, that wins trophies, that has a lot of pedigree to their part. They have a lot of things to their name. And so we are beginning to see, oh, this is not Harry Kane. Go and check Harry Kane's record at Tottenham. He had incredible goal scoring records. He shattered a lot of records in Tottenham. He scored a lot of goals. It just happened that those days were not bringing trophies. Those days were not winning him titles. And as they always say, not the who write well for exam, not the scholar, now who pass the scholar. So I think that was what it was for Harry Kane and the Tottenham team.
Indeed.
Like I said, except Harry Kane goes on to win the Champions League, I still do not think they put him in the contention for the Ballon d'Or, because if you look at last season, Michael Olise did exceptional. Michael Olise from December was exceptional. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think he had some 40-something goals and assists statistics. Yes, he was in the Ballon d'Or conversation. He was in the best shot conversation. He was nowhere. So I think they are called the Ballon d'Or to who has the best PRO. You see a player scores 1 goal today and he's all over the meter. You think that he has scored 9 goals in 1 match. All is just to push PRO and put the player out there. So I just hope Harry Kane goes on to win a couple of trophies for people in that conversation.
Talking about another player that has been fantastic. He has been scoring a lot of goals, giving a lot of assists, even when he has not been having a lot of playing time. And that person is the young legend, Kylian Mbappe. You know, Paris was on fire. France was on fire. Real Madrid was on fire. Europe was on fire. The La Liga was on fire. You know, with the start that Kylian Mbappe pulled up in that particular match. You know, this UCL season with 14 goals, 3 shy of Cristiano Ronaldo's all-time record for a single campaign of 17. What do you think about this performance? Because it seems like this man might just end up being the highest goal scorer in the UCL this season.
You see, Kylian Mbappe is another very phenomenal player. He's another very young player that has gone well to do, that has gone on to do so well for himself. Right from his younger age, he has always had something to prove. He has always shown it to us and to the entire world that yes, I am here and I am here to stay. He has beat the one season wonder allegations. He has beat the overhype allegations, and then he has gone on to prove this. I remember his early days at Real Madrid, how he struggled, how they were trying to fit him in as a lot of playing today at the right wing, tomorrow at the left wing, tomorrow at the center, tomorrow behind the striker, just to get him the proper balancing. But I think he has found his feet now. He has done so well. He's carrying the Madrid team so well. Kylian Mbappe is one player that I so much have belief in. I have so much trust in Kylian Mbappe. I know for a fact that Kylian Mbappe will do so well. And yes, I am pleased at what he's doing. Like you said, he's going on to struggle, even if this season he has been hit with a couple of injury crises. But whenever he's back on the pitch, he tells you why he's Kylian Mbappe. He tells you, gives you that thing you have been missing in his absence. And that's what makes a good player. That's what makes a phenomenal player. These are players that when you don't get to see them on the pitch, you miss them because of what they offer, what they bring. Not some players that can go on 30-game injury spell and you are praying for them to recover because their recovery will become disaster. So Kylian Mbappe is one of such players that every coach wants to have on the team. And not to forget, he's also a very versatile player. And that's one thing that me I like more about some footballers. When you are versatile, I rate you very high because you have the ability to be here, and this brings you give the coach an easier job because there are days where this position is strict. You can easily be moved and you perform so well. Yeah, so Canada is phenomenal.
Fantastic. You know, when I think about it, and when I spoke to some fans last night, they basically said, is it that when Kylian Mbappe is not here, Vinicius Junior steps up? And when Kylian Mbappe is here, we see a greater version of Kylian Mbappe, even after, not playing some games and coming in and giving that amazing performance. So he says and shows us the kind of person that this young man is. Should we expect the same performance at the World Cup, especially with France being the favorites in the World Cup?
Of course, 100%. He has done it before. And what's stopping from doing it again? He did it at a younger age, lesser experiences, lesser game time, and even lesser exposure. He will do it again and again and again and again. He will keep doing it. Let me tell you something many people don't know, that you see players that are quite versatile. They are very dangerous.
Are you still with us, Eru? Well, it seems like we lost him. But when you think about a player like Kylian Mbappe, all you should expect is some grit and some competence coming up with some competition. But it seems like Eru is back and he has a lot more to say. So let's continue to hear what he has to say about Kylian Mbappe.
Yes, I didn't get that, sorry.
You were talking about Kylian Mbappe. What do you have to say about his performance? And do you think he's going to give us a very, very fantastic show, in the forthcoming World Cup?
Yes, I think he will give us a very fantastic show at the World Cup. He has done that before. He will do it again. In the last World Cup, he did it. The previous one, he did it. He will do it again and again. Especially now that France even has some couple of amazing players that have been added to the team. And as a matter, like you rightly said, they are one of the favorites to win the World Cup presently. So yes, Kylian Mbappe will do it again and again.
This reminds me about a gospel song that says, God has done it before and he will do it again. So I think we can also sing the song that Kylian has done it before and he will do it again. But there was another fantastic player in Luis Diaz. He was a big game player. That goal in the 41st minute, it was fantastic. And it seems like he has scored in about 3 consecutive UCL knockout games. What does he say about Luis Diaz? Is he the superstar? Or is it that he's not being hyped enough? And if he's not being hyped enough, don't worry, we're on P&B to hype him.
Okay, actually, Luis Diaz, I think I've spoken to him once. I've spoken about him once on this show. I think it's Mr. Abel, and I told Mr. Abel something. I said Luis Diaz is the missing puzzle in the Bayern mystery. He fits in the team so well. He came into the team at the perfect time, and then he played for Bayern Munich.
Well, I think he's trying to talk about Luis Diaz. We lost him there. Ero, where are you?
I'm with you.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm just experiencing it in the public.
Okay.
Yeah, as I was saying, Luis Diaz has proven to be a good player. He has had some decent. As a matter of fact, the number of goals he has scored for Bayern Munich this season alone has surpassed the number of goals he scored in his entire time at Liverpool. And this goes to say a lot. You know, sometimes there are some players, when you move into certain things, life just becomes better and easier for you. And maybe because the Bundesliga permits him to say this, some people may not like it. Maybe because the Bundesliga is less competitive as compared to the English Premier League. There's less intensity, lesser intensity rather. So this
I
affects maybe
I
other.
I would like to disagree there. You know, when you look at the
That said, and some people may not agree.
when you look at the EPL, sometimes when I look at some matches that should be blockbusters, I just feel like sleeping. But when you watch the Bundesliga, you see some strength, you see teams taking on risk, playing high line, not playing defense, trying to outscore the next team. But right now we're going on a short break, and when we come back, we are going to be moving to the Arsenal win against Sporting CP. Don't go anywhere, because P&B Sports Show will be right back. Welcome back to P&B Sports Show. I'm your host, Aaron Cotton. And last night, we saw a fantastic performance from Arsenal and also from Sporting CP. But it seems like Sporting CP fell short of the win at home. You know, Sporting CP has been a side that has had a 16-match home winning streak, also beating Bodo Glimt before the quarterfinals to win on the aggregate. This has been a fantastic run for Sporting CP, 16-match home winning streak. What can you say about the man Kai Havertz that destroyed a 16-match home winning streak?
I'm not a big fan of Kai Havertz. I think you're putting me on the spot, wanting me to talk about him. But the truth has to be said, that was a good one for me. He has showed up for Arsenal a couple of times this season.
I honestly think he's the biggest clutch player in Arsenal, whether you like it or not. I think he's the biggest clutch player.
Yes, I won't take that away from him, sincerely. I'm not going to take that away from him. Because, like I was saying, there has been a couple of games that Arsenal has won this season, 1-0, 2-1. I know how many league winners Kai Havertz has scored this season. So I agree with you that he's the clutch player for Arsenal this season. He gives them this rhythm of hope when they think that, all hope is lost. Yeah, so, and all of this is happening. If I tell people that Kai Havertz is not a natural striker, they tend not to believe. He is not a striker. I mean, he started playing that role at Chelsea, kudos to Chelsea for helping him discover a new position he can play in. So Kai Havertz, I think he's doing the job that Arsenal got him for. He's doing what Arteta got him for, why Arteta had interest in him. Even if some Arsenal players don't like him because there are days where he tends to. But I always say it, that's Kai Havertz. That's why I don't like him. On the days he decides to be terrible, he's terrible completely. On the days he decides to show up, he shows up completely. So you have to give him his credit. He did well yesterday. That goal was very important for not just Arsenal. That goal was important for the entire Premier League because upon the win yesterday, upon the goal scored, the Premier League has not been confirmed that 5 teams will be going to the Championship of Pascal next season. So that's a cool, good one. Kudos to Arsenal. Kudos to even if I didn't want them to win, I didn't want them to win the match. But
you didn't want them to win the match, but we just hope that your dear side, Chelsea, can make it to the Champions League next season. Another fantastic player, Martin Zubimendi, with his spectacular performance, especially at the 63rd minute. And it seems like he was caught, offside, by the VAR, when Victor Gyökeres faced his former club. What do you think about this? Was the VAR right to have ruled out Zubimendi's effort?
In my own opinion, I think they were right. I ruled it out because there was a proper review done on the goal. But the only problem I have with the VAR is the inconsistency of their decisions. You see that goal that was ruled out yesterday, It will happen again today, and they will give it as a goal. And I begin to wonder what happened to the decision you made yesterday? What happened to precedents? What happened to antecedents? Why do we always have same situations, different verdicts? That is my only problem with the VRO. The goal yesterday, I also of the view that yes, it was right to have been ruled out. But my problem, like I've just said, is their level of inconsistency. Today they blow this thing, they give it a red card. Tomorrow same incident, they tell you it's a yellow card. The other day they overlook, they may never review. And it just goes on like that. And this is what brings so many controversies. Because even we as fans, we are working as oh, but this player did the same thing in this game and it was given. Why is he now being punished today? So this is just my problem. But to answer your question, I also share of the view that the goal was offside.
Congratulations to Arsenal for that win away from home. Can Sporting CP, win Arsenal at the Emirates? That's a question that the Sporting fans and the Arsenal fans will have to give us. But looking at David Raya in 1 minute, Raya made 5 critical saves, including a point-blank near post header from Jenny Katamo in the 83rd minute to preserve a clean sheet. Is Raya currently a top 3 goalkeeper in the world, in your own opinion? It's a simple yes or no answer, no explanation.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And, I think now we should be looking into the tactical defensive comparison of both Bayern Munich, who won their match against Real Madrid yesterday, and Arsenal. When you look at a Bayern Munich side, it seems like they have an aggressive high line and they use an intense high press to force turnovers in the opponent's half. And also their defensive shape, which is 4-2-3-1, which transitions to a 3-2-4-1 as well, with fullbacks pushing high to join the attack. And I love their counter press. Oh, their counter press is amazing. Bayern leads in efficiency, swarming opponents with the moment once their possession is being lost. And one thing that makes them, vulnerable, unfortunately, is their transition. Their high line can be easily exposed by teams, which we saw from Real Madrid, showing us what they can do against the high line of Bayern Munich. But when you look at Mikel Arteta's side, that's Arsenal. They have an elite structural mid-block, which focuses on discipline and compactness against the team, which is what we saw yesterday against the Sporting CP side. And when you look at their defensive shape, it was amazing. They used the 4-4-2 and also a 4-3-3, which seemed like a fortress. It seemed like they were about to take on the Sporting CP, and they actually played kind of a highline defensive, a highline and a mid block at the same time. But then when you look at their discipline, I feel like that is the best and that is their key strength. A team where, Arteta brings crazy training tactics in order to make sure that they have the chemistry that they need. But when it comes to their vulnerability, what can we say? To me, their vulnerability has been the injuries that they've been having. Missing key players like Saka and Timber can leave them shaky moving forward. Relying on individual brilliances, which is quite unfortunate. It was a night yesterday that proved why we love this competition. Bayern Munich have the advantage, but you can never, ever count out Real Madrid when their backs are against the wall. And for Arsenal, the job is half done, but the ghost of Lisbon will be following them to the Emirates. This is all for today's edition on the P&B Sports Show. Make sure you follow and subscribe to our social media platforms on YouTube at Politics and Business TV. Just follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss our breakdown of the return of the fixtures next week. For myself and our entire team here on P&B TV, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.